All right, let's jump right in. We're talking about India's consumer market today. It is absolutely massive, a huge opportunity for any brand. But here's the thing. It's also a minefield when it comes to a brand's reputation. We're going to break down how a company's own people, their greatest asset, can sometimes become their biggest liability.
So, just to give you a sense of the scale here, India is one of the world's largest and fastest-growing markets. I mean, for any global company, this is the promised land for growth. The number of potential customers is just enormous, and people are eager for new products. It really seems like a surefire path to success, doesn't it?
Well, here's the twist. What if the very people you've hired to be the face of your brand, your boots on the ground, are the ones quietly tearing down everything you're trying to build? That's the hidden danger so many companies are facing in this incredibly reputation-sensitive market. So, how does this actually happen? It's not just one little thing. It's a whole pattern of behaviors. We've boiled it down to 6 key ways that irresponsible agents can completely shatter public trust and stay in a company's name, sometimes for good. First off, it starts with this fundamental switch from selling value to pushing greed. Instead of focusing on what a product can genuinely do for a customer, some agents tap into that powerful desire for quick success. They make these wild, exaggerated claims, promise totally unrealistic results, and sell products like there's some kind of get-rich-quick ticket. And here's why that's so dangerous. They're exploiting a real cultural desire for a better life, which makes the brand itself look predatory, even if the company's official policies are totally ethical.
And that leads right into the next problem: misinformation. It just spreads like wildfire. A lot of agents jump into the game with basically zero training on the actual product or the rules they need to follow. This creates so much confusion. This quote really says it all, right? Imagine you're the customer. One person tells you a wellness product is a miracle cure, and the next person says it's just a simple supplement. In that moment, all trust just evaporates.
Then you've got emotional manipulation. This is where some agents start leaning on their personal networks, pressuring their own friends and family to buy something or join their team. This doesn't build brand loyalty. It creates resentment. All of a sudden, your brand isn't associated with quality. It's associated with that awkward phone call from an old friend or that high-pressure pitch you got at a family dinner. And from there, things can spiral into a full-blown scam culture. Rogue agents will take official company logos and slap them onto fake pyramid schemes or other shady side hustles. Now, for the public, it's impossible to tell the difference. They see the brand's name and they assume the whole company is a fraud, even if the people at headquarters have no clue this is even happening. And maybe the saddest part of all of this is what happens to the honest marketing professionals. For every one agent cutting corners, there are tons of others out there working hard, doing things the right way. But because of the actions of a few bad apples, they all get painted with the same brush. They have to deal with public suspicion and a social stigma that makes it incredibly hard to do their jobs with dignity. So why does this keep happening? Well, the 6th and final piece of the puzzle is a total lack of accountability. When companies don't monitor their agents, don't set clear rules, or don't enforce consequences, these unethical practices just thrive. And you can see the results right here. When oversight goes down, customer complaints and agent misconduct shoot through the roof, and the company completely loses control of its own brand.
When you add all that up, the cost is just staggering. And we're not just talking about lost sales that you can track on a spreadsheet. We're talking about a ruined public image, trust that's been eroded to nothing, and a brand identity that's been completely hijacked. The damage is deep, and it is incredibly hard to fix.
But it doesn't have to end this way. This whole destructive cycle of distrust and damage can absolutely be broken. So, what's the fix? Well, there's a powerful alternative, a whole new way of thinking called dignified branding, and it's designed to rebuild that trust from the ground up. So what is dignified branding exactly? At its core, it's a complete shift in mindset. It's an approach where the top priority is maintaining the dignity and honor of everyone involved, the customer, the agent, and the brand itself. It's about building a reputation on respect, not just on revenue.
And it's all built on these core pillars. Each one is a direct antidote to the problems we just talked about. So for example, remember that wildfire of misinformation? Well, ethical communication and transparent claims are the fire extinguishers. No more miracle cures versus lifestyle supplements. Instead of that greed-based selling, you have sustainability, focusing on long-term trust, not a quick buck. And so importantly, proper training and protecting professional honor get right to the root of the problem, fixing that lack of accountability and getting rid of the stigma that punishes the good guys. It's a complete system for rebuilding trust.
At the end of the day, it really all comes down to a choice. And this isn't just some small tactical move, it's a huge strategic decision about what kind of legacy a brand really wants to build in a market as crucial as India.
And honestly, the choice couldn't be clearer. A brand can stick with these aggressive, short-sighted tactics that might make a quick profit but will, without a doubt, cause long-term damage. Or it can choose the path of dignified branding, a path that builds sustainable growth and a legacy of trust and respect. So we'll leave you with this thought. In a market where feelings and trust drive so much of what people buy, the actions of just one agent can absolutely destroy a brand's reputation. But a single guiding principle of dignity, that can build a legacy to last for generations. The real question is, which path will brands choose?